Hi everyone! Welcome to your course, Differential and Integral Calculus. The course code is, of course, MATH102B. I will be your instructor throughout this half of the trimester. So let me introduce myself. I am Engineer Janaika A. Tapiado. So I would just be providing you an overview of the things that you would need to know and the things that you have to learn throughout this particular course. So these are the things that we would be covering for this particular video. You have your course description, followed by your course learning outcomes, and the syllabus and topic learning outcomes, the assessment tools, and of course, how you could compute your scores. So first stop is your course description. So the description of this course is that it covers the basic concepts of your differential and integral calculus, such as limits, differentiation. But of course, for this particular calculus, we will only be dealing with your algebraic functions or just the basic concepts. And integral formulas and basic applications of the course or the subject to problems. We would be covering application of your calculus to certain problems. And the second stop is your course learning outcomes. When we say course learning outcomes, these are the things that you would need to achieve at the end of the course for you to pass the course. So it says here at the end of this course, the students shall be able to, CLO number 1, or that's your course learning outcome number 1. You should be able then to discuss the application of calculus on mathematics and other sciences. Your CLO number 2, you should be able then to differentiate and integrate algebraic functions. Your CLO number 3, apply the concept of calculus in solving mathematical problems. The fourth CLO is solve problems on limits and functions. So the third stop for this particular video, your course syllabus and topic learning outcomes. So during the midterms, we are to cover your module number 1, which is just a review topics on your algebra, trigonometry, and analytical geometry. I believe you already learned this or took this up in your high school years. So we would just go over it quickly because as it says here, it's just a review. And after module number 1, we are to go to module number 2, functions, wherein we are to cover the definition or types of functions, operations of functions, and of course the graph of functions. And then we will go to module number 3, wherein we will be covering the concepts of limits, what is limit, calculation of limits, and of course limits and derivatives. And the last module for the midterm is the derivatives of algebraic functions, wherein we are to cover the rules of your derivatives and where we could apply these derivatives. So at the end of the midterms, these are the things that you should have learned. We are to review prerequisite topics on calculus. You should be able then to discuss the different functions and operation on functions. Discuss what is a limit and its relation to derivatives. Apply the basic rules of the derivatives in solving algebraic functions. And of course, discuss the application of derivatives in mathematics. So that is for the midterms. And for the finals, introducing your module number 5, this is Introduction to Integral Calculus, wherein we are to cover the relationship between differential and integral calculus, the general concepts of your integrals, integral of algebraic function, both the definite and the indefinite, and calculating area under curve using integrations. So that's the only coverage for your finals. Medyo madami-dami kasi siya. So, kaya medyo tutok yung finals niya sa integral calculus. And of course, the TLOs or the topic learning outcomes for finals are the following. Relate differential and integral calculus, integrate algebraic functions, and of course, apply integration in calculating area under a certain curve. So the fourth stop for this particular video is the course outcomes assessment tools. So how would we assess you for this particular course so that you get to know if you passed or failed the course? So for your class standing, same with most of your other courses, for the class standing, the coverage are your quizzes, sit works, and homeworks. So make sure that every time we have a quiz, sit work, or homework, you are able then to pass it on time para po iwas deductions. And make sure that you don't miss any of them. Because my rule is every time that you miss an activity or hindi ka nakahabol, that's an automatic INC grade. Okay, so you have to make sure that you are able then to pass them on time. And anyway, I actually am giving enough time, ample time for you to be able then to pass any requirement para po walang dahilan na kung ano mang dahilan ang meron. So usually I give around a week. So kunyari ngayon ko ibibigay, next week yung due niya. So there's no reason for you to not pass it on time since ample time is already provided. And of course, aside from your class standing, another assessment tool that we are using are your examinations. So we have two examinations, your midterm and your final exams. So lastly is the computation of your scores. So how do we compute your scores? You should be familiar with this already since you are already second year architecture students. Let me just refresh your mind on how it's being calculated para at the end of the term or at the end of midterm or final term, ma-assess nyo na rin po yung sarili nyo kung pasado po ba or hindi. So first is your raw midterm score. For architecture students, I was informed that the passing score is 50%. So that means 50% of the class standing plus 50% of your midterm exam score will give you your raw midterm score. And for the final score, it's the same thing, 50% of the class standing and 50% of the final exam score, so that you can calculate your final score, which is 50% of the midterm score plus 50% of the raw final score. So please take a look at the note here. It says here, scores are transmuted to an equivalent grade where a score of at least 50% would be the minimum passing grade of 75. So kunyari, na-calculate nyo na yung midterm score nyo and yung raw final score nyo. If the final score that you got is more than 50%, ibig sabihin pasado yun. If the final score that you got is less than less than 50%, then that means kinulang po yung inyong scores. So having said that, I would just like to inform you of your very first activity. You are to create a short introduction about yourself and then answer the question, why did you choose to pursue your program? So I believe all of you are taking a Bachelor of Science in Architecture. So this is about, I want you to make it around just very short, 2 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes. And of course, you should be in the video. You should be the one talking in the video. You can do some editing and stuff, but I just want to, of course, see your faces in the video. I would advise you to create this or make this as soon as possible. I don't have any I don't have any due date yet. The due date for this will be given once Canvas is up and running. So for the meantime po, habang wala pa po yung Canvas natin, I would just be providing you all of the activities that you would need without the due date. But once Canvas is up and running, doon ko na po i-juju yung inyong mga activities. Okay? So I think that's it for this very short introduction. Next meeting, I will be providing another video about the next topic, which is about your module number 1 or review topics on your pre-calculus courses. So having said that, that's it for me, class. Stay home, stay healthy, and stay safe. Goodbye, everyone.